ashes. We were right in the midst in the back of my mind. If you thought that you were making your way, it was the fossil that put us together. It's a strange invitation. Hola people, this is the Call Me Crazy Show, episode 93. As you can see, I have a co-host. How you doing, C3PO? He's a human cyborg relation. He knows 6 million languages. And by the way, my name is Annie. As an Anakin, I just play people. Okay, this is episode 93. I'm very happy to be here. I want to be able to thank Marty, the editor of the movie of the Call Me Crazy Show. And I want to thank TCCC for making it possible. And I want to thank C3PO for making the engagement today. It was a tough time trying to get George to let me have a interview with C3PO. But Mr. Lucas was very fond of me. So he let me have C3PO for one day. Ain't that right? That's good. Okay, people. First things first I want to talk about is the new, supposedly there's a new rumor saying the name of the new Star Wars movie that comes out it comes out May 2005, and the name of the movie I heard, and get ready people, it is called, I think, and it's rumored that Star Wars Episode 3 will be called The Revenge of the Sith. So I said it. I know C2PO, I wasn't supposed to say it out loud, but rumor is that the name of the Part 3, Episode 3 of Star Wars called Revenge of the Sith. It's about Anakin Skywalker turning into Darth Vader. What's that? I don't know what he's trying to say. Oh, what? Don't talk about the movie anymore? Okay, well, okay, sorry about that, C3PO. Okay, can I tell you a story what happened in Alabama? Alright. Okay, he says he wants to hear a story about Alabama, what happened. Okay, in Alabama, people, it's a little tidbit. In Alabama, it's, by law, if you're over 14 years old, you can get married if you want. And apparently a 42-year-old woman in Alabama married a 14-year-old boy, and it's all legal. So if you're a 14-year-old boy and who wants to marry a 42-year-old woman, move to Alabama, people. That's where it's at for the kids nowadays anyway. Okay, and also an Iraqi woman was shot to death in Iraq by U.S. soldiers because she had 10 grenades on her. Apparently she was going to do like a suicide bombing run and try to kill U.S. soldiers. And this Iraqi woman had 10 grenades on her, and before she could detonate the 10 grenades, she was shot to death in a hail of bullets. And the family of the Iraqi woman said that she did so wrong by not telling the family that she was going to go kill herself in order to kill U.S. soldiers. They said that the family of the Iraqi woman told reporters they would have killed her just to punish her because she didn't tell them of her plan to her kid and her husband what she planned to do. Fucking stupid. Okay. The Pentagon has an agency called the Missile Defense Agency where the federal government is telling us through the media that the test was not a failure. Apparently they did a missile test in an unspecified location, and that it was supposed to be like a Star Wars kind of and when I say Star Wars, I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about the Reagan era program that Ronald Reagan did back in the early 80s, where supposedly we're going to have missiles that shoot down nuclear warheads that come from a country who do not like us. Back then, we had the idea that the Soviet Union, Russia, was going to send nuclear missiles over us, and Ronald Reagan had this idea of making this program where we can shoot the missiles down with other missiles, and our missiles will not be nuclear warheads. But the Missile Defense Agency from the Pentagon did some testing where the missile didn't achieve the objective of the program, and the objective was to shoot pretend a nuclear missile. It missed. And so the General Accounting Office, that's the GAO office of the federal government, says that the Missile Defense Agency has immature technology. And this is the same government people that invented the stealth plane, invented the nuclear weapon, invented, as far as I know right now, is creating a new form of lasers for combat, just like Star Wars. Okay, enough about that. Okay, in Englewood, Colorado, a man was working out at a gym, and apparently he collapsed and died of a heart attack. But his fellow gym workout colleagues in the gym figured, well, okay, we'll just let him lie there in the middle of the gym, and everybody continued working out while the guy was dead on the floor. So don't ever go to Englewood, Colorado, people, because if you die in a gym, you won't get picked up. Okay, in Japan, a 4-year-old girl was walking on the sidewalk with her parents when a computer came flying out of a 12-story window and landed on her head. Apparently there was a family arguing on the 12th floor because a 12-year-old daughter was spending too much time on the internet. So the father got mad, yanked out the computer out of the desk and threw out the window, and therefore the 4-year-old girl was hit in the head. Okay, and then in Russia this week, a suicide bomber killed 44 people. So it's apparent now that suicide bombers is now the rage in every country. Okay, Vince Neil, the lead singer, or former lead singer of Motley Crue, was arrested in Las Vegas and charged with felony assault because police said that he grabbed a hooker around her throat and tried to strangle her. So I'll keep you more up to date on that. And all I gotta say, Vince Neil, Tommy Lee, you know, they can have their bad run-in with the law. Okay, and then we all remember the founder of Death Row Records. Death Row Records featured a lot of major hip-hop players, excuse me, including Snoop Dogg and Tupac. Suge Knight was found guilty, sent to 10 months in prison. Okay, and then also there's a new NASCAR movie coming out, and I'm a big NASCAR fan, particularly of Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, and of course my favorite, Dale Earnhardt Jr. And by the way, Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are in a new Three Doors Down video. But NASCAR finally making it into the Hollywood mainstream movies because a major Hollywood studio is going to make a movie about NASCAR and their charismatic driver. And guess what, people? Here's my favorite part. It's going to star Britney Spears. Delicious. Okay, we all know Saddam Hussein's two sons, Uday and Qusay, were shot to death in a U.S. raid in Baghdad. They were buried yesterday morning. Good riddance, I have to say. At least now they can burn in hell, because apparently they're there now. Is that right? Okay, people. And also, Saddam Hussein's grandson, the son of one of the sons of Saddam Hussein, was the last one killed in the shootout. He came out with guns blaring, shooting out. He was the last one standing, and U.S. soldiers, yeah, shot him down. So they shot down and killed the grandson of Saddam Hussein, which is a good thing. Okay, Kobe Bryant is facing assault charges, saying that he raped. They're saying in Colorado that he raped a woman, a 19-year-old woman, a worker at the hotel where he was staying at. But it turns out that it was consensual sex. Kobe Bryant said. He says that she said it was okay that they had sex. So right now it's a he said, she said kind of thing. Something Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas back in '91, we all know, had that thing where he supposedly harassed her. How funny. Okay. Oh, a very cruel hoax happened this week in Indiana. In 1986, a 6-year-old girl was kidnapped, abducted. No one ever found her. And this week, 17 years later, a woman called the father of the missing girl and said that she was the missing daughter. She was 23 years old woman, saying, "I am your missing daughter. I'm coming back home." So they did a DNA test, and it came back positive that it was not the daughter. And it turned out the woman was just playing a cruel hoax. I hope she burns in hell, because what she did, she reopened old wounds. Dumb woman. And that's very mean to do. Okay, let's see. Oh, in New York City this week also, New York City councilman was shot to death by a fellow colleague in City Hall. Apparently, the assassin with the gun was able to bypass the metal detector at City Hall because apparently he was hanging out with the councilman and they thought they were above the law. Okay, then here's a funny thing I found out. A man was tested, dropped dirty for a alcohol test for probation. And guess what, people? He blamed the burrito that he ate before going to the appointment of probation officer, because get this, he said his burrito was dipped and fried in beer. Okay, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger is running for, might be running for governor. We'll find out officially in a couple days, but he might be running for governor of California. And why not? Ronald Reagan was a dumb fuck movie star back in the day, in the fucking 40s. He was a lame-ass actor, he was a lame-ass fucking governor, and he was a lame-ass president. So he was one of the most evilest men in America. I hate Ronald Reagan. I hope he's dying a horrible, miserable death, because apparently he is. So good riddance to Ronald Reagan. Okay, C3PO, I want to thank you for helping me do the Call Me Crazy show, episode 93. So I'm going to tell you once again, people, the rumor for the new Star Wars movie, the new name, is called Episode 3, The Revenge of the Sith. What's that, C3PO? You have to take off? What? Fuck R2-D2, man. Who does he think he is? R2. I know. He saved the Death Star. But what? Okay, we're out of here. We're off to Tatooine because we're gonna go find Luke. Because apparently Luke is fucking up. Okay, people, I'm out of here. Let's go, C3PO.